well do you know about tourism? Tourism offers a wide range of benefits for countries attracting a large number of visitors. In most countries, tourism is an important driver of economic growth and development as it creates jobs, raises income, and generates demand and growth in a variety of other sectors. With that being said, the tourism industry has been divided into 8 different sectors or areas. Accommodation, adventure tourism and recreation, attractions, events and conferences, food and beverage, tourism services, transportation, and travel trade. These are the sectors of the tourism industry. In tourism, we must always remember to maximize the sector's benefits while minimizing any potentially negative impacts to the world. That's why we have a roadmap for responsible and sustainable tourism introduced by the United Nations General Assembly in 2001. A fundamental frame of reference for responsible and sustainable tourism. Ang Global Code of Ethics for Tourism or GCET ay isang komprehensibong hanay ng mga prinsipyo na idinisenyo upang gabayan ng mga pangunahing tao sa pagpapaunlad ng turismo. It's more fun in the Philippines! The Philippines don't just offer majestic tourist destinations, but they also practice responsible and sustainable tourism. In this video, join us as we explore Baguio! Gayunpaman, mayroon tayong tinatawag na city ordinances. Ang layunin nito ay upang matugunan ang mga issue ng local concern and it typically applies to people subject to the city's jurisdiction. Tinutugunan nito ang mga isyung may kinalaman sa public health, safety, and welfare, and they can either prohibit or prescribe a certain type of behavior. In Baguio, mayroong iba't ibang ordinansa that they implemented para mapanatili ang kaayusan at kaligtasan, hindi lamang ng mga tao, kung hindi pati na rin ang kalikasan at mga hayop.
Our first stop is the Tamawan Village. It is a cultural and arts center with the purpose of showcasing and preserving the heritage of Cordillera. It also shows the origins and culture of Igorots. Here, in Baguio, they implemented an act wherein it recognizes, protects, and promotes the rights of the indigenous cultural communities and indigenous people. This act is known as the Republic Act No. 8371 or the Indigenous People Rights Act. Ang batas na ito ay naglalayong maproteksyonan at nabigyan ng karapatan ng mga katutubo. This also includes the right to their customs, traditions, beliefs, values, interests, and institutions. In Article 1, entitled Tourism's Contribution to Mutual Understanding and Respect Between Peoples and Societies, which states the value to humanity, this is to give consideration and protection for them to maintain their culture for it to continue through generations. Yung mga aktibidad na ginagawa sa lugar na yon ay dapat gawin na naaayon sa kanilang tradisyon bilang pagrespeto na rin sa kanila. At bilang isang turista, responsibilidad din natin ang pagkilala sa tao at lugar na balak nating bisitahin. Because we visit there to learn and appreciate their culture and not to influence them. The article shows the importance of giving the indigenous peoples their rights and how they should use it to educate more people about them.
Welcoming you to our second stop, the Crown Legacy Hotel. They offer a European-inspired ambience on the city's west side, where main roads intersect to provide legendary royal customer service and lodging. They implement a policy entitled Building Mechanisms to Integrate Women and pursue a non-gender biased implementation of Comprehensive Agrarian Reform Program or CARP, which we can relate to the Ordinance No. 13, Series of 2017 in Baguio City. Isa sa mga issue at concerns in agrarian reform ay yung full operationalization of policies which ensure access and control of women over productive resources and avoid gender bias and discrimination. Ang diskriminasyon ay isang kritikal at seryosong issue na patuloy na nararanasan lalo na laban sa mga taong may kapansanan, senior citizen, kabataan, iba't ibang paniniwala sa relihiyon at iba pa. In accordance with a democratic principle that sets a high value on fundamental human rights and entitlements, ang Pilipinas ay pumasok sa isang bilang ng mga international accords na naglalayong alisin ang lahat ng uri ng diskriminasyon at pang-abuso. In Article 2 entitled Tourism as a Vehicle for Individual and Collective Fulfillment, Dapat irespeto ang pagkakapantay-pantay ng mga kababaihan at kalalakihan at suportahan ng turismo ang mga karapatang pantao as well as individual rights of the most vulnerable groups. On that point, ang bawat isa ay dapat magkaroon ng equal access to opportunities in all spheres of human effort, gayon din ang patas na pamamahagi ng social and economic advantages. Sa paraang ito, malaya nilang matatamasa ang mga karapatan to which they are legally entitled, free of prejudice and discrimination. Thus, promoting and preserving their rights would not only improve their freedom, welfare, and dignity as individuals, but will also promote social justice in general and help the development of human rights and culture in the country.
On to our third step, Balili and Bued rivers. With its pure and clear water rushing from Baguio to La Trinidad, the river was once a historic site. The Balili River, which flows through the corners of Stabosa, famous for its cluster of houses, turned into a huge, vibrant piece of art, faces some problems like pollution, poor water quality, as well as bacteria in both rivers. Despite city issues tulad ng traffic, overcrowding, kakulangan sa tubig at pagtaas ng polusyon, sustainable tourism was still possible. In line with Article 3 of UNWTO's recent titled Tourism a Factor of Sustainable Development, gumawa ng aksyon ng city government to improve its waterways management para hindi maapektuhan ang sustainable growth, tourist activities, at local inhabitants at by strengthening the City Ordinance 18 Series of 2016, also known as the Environment Code of the City of Baguio. Every local government entity must execute comprehensive and sustainable development methods to safeguard, conserve, and alleviate the natural resources resulting to environmental issues. Nagkaroon ng advocacy and informational campaigns regarding sustainable tourism, protection and conservation of flora and fauna, at pagtatanim ng appropriate plant species along the river banks. Another examples are the trees planted in Burnham Park by couples who applied for a marriage license as a part of their contribution for the protection and preservation of the environment. In this ordinance, both the current and future residents as well as tourists of the City of Pines will benefit from it. But they should have a pure and clear intention that will surely promote and secure sustainable tourism. Kung kaya dapat lamang nabigyan ng prioridad at suporta ng gobyerno ang lahat ng tourism development that conserves scarce and valuable resources, particularly water and energy, while reducing waste creation sa lalong madaling panahon.
I know you can't wait to our fourth stop, Lourdes Grotto. Our Lady of Lourdes Grotto is a Catholic shrine na paboritong puntahan ng mga turistang Pilipino at foreigner, lalo na tuwing Huwebes Santo at Biyernes Santo. May dalawang paraan lang para marating ang tuktok ng grotto. Una, ang pag-akyat sa 252 na hakbang. Pangalawa, pagmaneho ng isang magaan na sasakyan sa paliko-liko at makitid at matarik na kalsada. Isa ang lugar na ito sa itinuturing na heritage sites ng Baguio dahil sa tagal nitong nakatayo sa lugar. Dahil na rin dito, Heritage Conservation advocates raise arms against the dismantling of old structures to give way for the constructions of buildings. With modern designs, sinisiguro nila na ma-preserve ang mga heritage na lugar na nagsisilbing simbolo ng syudad sa nakaraan. Ang pamahalaang lungsod ay sumusuporta sa pangkahalatang plano ng Baguio Historical Foundation at mga kinaukulang asensyang pangkultura na idineklara ang ilang bahagi ng lungsod bilang alinman sa mga pambansang dambana, pambansang monumento o pambansang palatandaan alinsunod sa mga umiiral na probisyon ng Republic Act RA 10066 o ang bagong batas na nagpoprotekta sa mga lugar.
Hold tight as we will proceed to Baguio City Market. Ito ay isa sa dinadayo ng mga turista dahil halos lahat ng consumer and service needs of both residents and tourists ay matatagpuan dito. Ang market na ito ay pinagkalooban ng mayamang pang-ekonomiyang aktibidad kung saan nananatili ang iba't ibang uri ng masisipag na individual at ginagawa ang mga aktibidad na nagbibigay ng kita. However, ang lugar na ito ay malimit na nasisira due to fire at hindi matibay na pagtatayo ng gusali. So nagkaroon ng ordinance, which is the Ordinance number 38 of 1995, which provides the guidelines for the market development along with the award of the project development to Uniwide and the amended design, build, and lease agreement. In Article 5 entitled Tourism, a beneficial activity for host countries and communities, nakasaad sa Section 4 that investors lay down by public authorities. Tourism includes the local community, government, and private sectors. there are businesses when there are tourists that can uplift their businesses through buying. Dahil sa Ordinance Number 38, the Baguio City Market has developed. Ito ay pinatibay at pinaganda, which means mas makaka-attract ng mas maraming turista. So, ang pagdami ng namimiling turista ay ang pagdami din ng mga vendors or business sa lugar. And having more businesses can boost tax income for local governments, providing more financial na makakatulong sa paglago ng kanilang ekonomiya. In addition, ang mga business sa Baguio City Market ay hindi lang through financial nakakatulong, but also in taking care of their environment tulad na lang ng solid waste management practice. Ito ay ang pagkolekta ng garbage nila araw-araw sa marketplace that can help to produce organic fertilizers from waste disposed.
Let's go to one of the most famous park in the country located here in Baguio City, which is Burnham Park, officially known as the Burnham Park Reservation. This historic urban park was designed by eponymous American architect and Baguio City planner Daniel Burnham. Isa ito sa pinakapaboritong puntahan ng mga lokal at mga turista at talaga nga naman napupuno ito umaraw man o umulan. Dahil napakaraming mga bagay na pwedeng gawin dito. Ang ilan dito ay ang mag-boating, jogging, zumba, picnic at ang sikat na pagbibisikleta at ang mag-relax sa pag-upo at mag-enjoy sa mga magagandang tanawin. And according to Article 6 Obligations of Stakeholders in Tourism Development, ang mga profesional sa turismo ay may obligasyon na magbigay sa mga turista ng layunin at tapat na impormasyon sa kanilang mga lugar na patutunguhan sa mga kondisyon ng paglalakbay. Tinitiyak din na ang mga kontraktual na sugnay na minumungkahi sa kanilang mga customer ay madaling mauunawaan hinggil sa kalikasan, presyo at kalidad ng mga serbisyong ibinibigay nila. Dagdag pa dito ay pagiging tapat ng mga tao sa lugar dahil na rin sa crowded dito, hindi maiwasan ng magkawalaan, makaiwan ng gamit at pagsasoli ng mga rental bikes sa park. Kaya naman ang katapatan ay hindi lamang ang pinakamahusay na patakaran, nagbabayad din ito upang maging tapat sa lugar dito with an honesty ordinance that seeks to automatically give a cash award of 5,000 pesos to residents who are officially commended by the body for their acts or deeds of honesty. Sinasabi nito na ang Baguio ay kilala sa katapatan ng karamihan sa mga mamamayan nito at maraming beses na pinangaralan ng pamahalang lungsod ng mga matatapat na taxi drivers, security guards o utility personnel sa pagsasoli ng lost and found na mahalagang gamit at pera. At para sa mga tour guide na sumusunod na napag-usapan ng tour packages na mapupuntahan ng kumpleto ng mga turista. Dahil dito, mas nakukuha ng mga stakeholders ang obligasyon na mapaunlad ng nasabing lugar lalo na isa ito sa pinaka-kilala na pinupuntahan ng karamihan.
Still up for more? We got you! Everyone, we welcome you to the Manor Camp Janhay. We all know that this hotel is one of the most famous visited accommodation in Baguio. Camp Janhay will give you a taste of pleasure and adventure that you will never forget. On last January 11, 2021, Camp Janhay in Baguio City announced over the weekend that it was closing. Bakit? Dahil sa pag-iiwan ng mga hindi mabilang na basura, patuloy na pagkasira at vandalism na nangyayari sa mga halaman. Sani ito ng mga iba't ibang turistang dumadalaw at tila walang pagpapahalaga sa ating kapaligiran. Dahil dito, nagpatupad ng ordinansang makatutulong upang masolusyonan ang nasabing issue sa Baguio City. Ito ay ang Ordinance Number 572, Penalizing Spitting and Littering in Public. Ayon sa Ordinance Number 572, no person shall throw or dump garbage. Mapasolid or liquid man iyan, wala kang karapatan na itapon na lamang sa kung saan-saan ang iyong basura. Lalo na sa mga bodies of water dahil ito ay illegal at may masamang epekto sa ating katubigan. Ang lahat naman na nagmamay-ari ng commercial and industrial establishment katulad ng hotel, restaurants, hospital, and transportation companies ay may obligasyong panatiliing malinis at maayos ang kanilang nasasakupan. Sila rin ay dapat na inspeksyon bago mag-alas 9 ng umaga. In line with Article 7, the rights of tourism, sinasabi dito yung prospect of personal access, na lahat tayo ay may direct access sa ating destination or sa mga natural resources. Kaya naman, bilang isang turista, may obligasyon din tayong mapangalagaan at masustain ang growth ng ating mga tourist destination. Dapat maging responsable tayo sa paggamit at huwag abusuhin.
Be ready to be amazed as we welcome you to Baguio Convention and Cultural Center. It was built 1977 at naikonsidera din ito bilang one of the most beautiful structures in the Philippines, which is because of its architectural design inspired by Igorot Ifugao native huts with pyramidal roofs and square-shaped walls. Its rehabilitation started from March 2018 at natapos ito noong February 2019. Ito na rin ang naging dahilan upang lumago ang turismo sa Baguio, dahil dito na ginaganap ang local and national conventions, events, seminars, graduation, and other indoor gatherings and activities. With all the improvements and activities that was held and will be happening in the future, ay paniguradong mayroong information and data na makokolekta. And according to GSET's Article 8 entitled Liberty of Tourist Movements, bukod sa pagkakaroon ng freedom or liberty to move within their country and from one state to another, and also by having a fair access to all forms of communications, ang lahat ng personal data ng tourists at local people ay dapat protektahan at hindi maisa sa publiko. At upang masiguro na napapractice ang data privacy sa City of Baguio, an ordinance advocated by the City Councilor Arthur Alad-Iu was signed by President Rodrigo Duterte as Proclamation No. 527 on July 3, 2018. It states that every last week of May gaganapin ang National Data Privacy Awareness Week. Dito na rin maipapakita kung gaano kaimportante na maipaalam at maituro sa publiko ang tungkol sa data privacy, data protection, pati na rin ang pantay na karapatan at responsibilidad bilang katuwang ng National Privacy Commission in protecting personal data and ensuring Philippines' compliance with international standards for data protection. Always remember, ang paglabag sa Republic Act 10173 o mas kilala bilang Data Privacy Act ay may karampatang penalties and fines depending on what type of act is committed.
Our second to the last destination, welcome to Ride Park. Cool climate, wonderful scenery, and horseback riding adventure. Ilan ito sa mga dahilan kung bakit ang lugar na ito ay isa sa mga most visited parks in the Philippines. Pony Boy's business is an informal enterprise which has grown into 10 associations of riders na nangangalaga sa mahigit 200 na kabayo. According to Article 9 Rights of the Workers and Entrepreneurs in the Tourism Industry, entrepreneurs and investors, especially mga MSMEs, should be entitled to free access to the tourism sector with a minimum of legal or administrative sector. Upang matulungan ang business enterprise, 20 of their horses were rented by the city police para sa small parade noong August 24, na kung saan ginanap ang flag raising ceremony dito sa Ride Park. Since coronavirus pandemic forced the zone to lockdown noong March 2020, nawalan sila ng pagkakakitaan. Like the rest of the country, Baguio was unprepared for the losses and stress brought by the lockdown. And since the city police have rented their horses, that was their first time Pony Boys got paid simula noong pandemic. At dahil wala pang ordinance to help the small business like them, the City Council are proposing an ordinance, City Pasalubong and Enterprise Development Center, as a local economic enterprise of the city. It stated that it will be a policy of the local government to develop and promote sustainable economic activities at para na rin masuportahan ang mga micro, small, and medium enterprise to foster faster local social and economic growth. And with their aim to help the local workers or mga small businesses, the City Council has passed a resolution requesting the mayor na isuspende ang pag-implement ng pag-increase ng real property taxes as mandated by the Schedule of Market Values for Land in the City of Baguio o tinatawag na Ordinance 16 by 2020.
Our last destination is Baguio Night Market. Baguio is well known for its low-cost shopping. If you want to put your negotiating skills to the test, head over to the Baguio Night Market. Ngunit according to City Mayor Mauricio Dumogan, mayroong problemang hinaharap ang Baguio City Night Market. Mayroong cases of careless and unsanitary practices, ang pollution sa kahabaan ng Harrison Road, pati na rin ang mga buntok ng basura na iniwan ng mga nagtitinda at mamimili ay enough for local officials to impose the ban. Mayor Mauricio Dumogan issued an executive order laying out the rules and regulations para ma-implement ang Ordinance No. 36 years of 2017 o tinatawag na Plastic and Styrofoam Free Baguio City Ordinance. Administrative Order No. 45 of 2018 prohibits the business establishments from selling single-use sandbags o plastic containers at paggamit ng same packaging ng kanilang produkto. According to Article 10, both public and private stakeholders ng tourism ay kailangan mag-implement ng ordinance para maging epektibo ito. At habang niyahanda pa ang implementing rules and regulations, inilarawan nila ang mga pamantayang dapat sundin sa pagkontrol, sa pagbebenta, paggamit at pamamahagi ng mga plastic carry o shopping bag at styrofoam sa buong lungsod. And when buying anything from business or establishments, residents and tourists must have their own carry-on bags or containers. Lahat ng ordinances na ipinatupad ay nakakatulong para mapanatili ang environmental protections at ang kaligtasan ng kultura, mga tao, natural resources at ng lungsod, and by promoting and developing all the sustainable economic activities and to support all the enterprises. The Global Code of Ethics for Tourism ay kinakailangan upang mabawasan ang mga nakakapinsalang epekto ng turismo sa kapaligiran. Ito ay ginawa upang maging isang dynamicong dokumento, basahin at ipamahagi ito ng malawakan. Sa iyong tulong, masisigurado natin ang kinabukasan ng industriya ng turista at matatagdagan ang kontribusyon ng sektor sa pag-unlad ng ekonomiya, kapayapaan at pagkakaunawaan ng lahat ng mga bansa.
While tourism rises,